Across Europe, winter brings a familiar anticipation, a longing for snow that transforms cities and countrysides alike. From London to the Alps, people wonder, will this be the year of the great snowstorm? Snow is more than beauty, it's vital for farmers, ski resorts, and cherished memories. Yet, the certainty of snowy winters is fading. Each year, millions check forecasts, hoping for a season of magic or bracing for disappointment. As the 2025-2026 winter approaches, the question lingers. Will it be a season of epic blizzards or fleeting frosts? The first chills have arrived, the stage is set, and the story of this winter is about to unfold. The answer lies in the complex dance of global weather patterns, only now beginning to reveal their secrets. The forecast for Europe's winter is clear. Expect a milder, drier season than usual. Deep, persistent snow will be rare for most of the continent. Dominant westerly winds from the Atlantic will block Arctic air, bringing rain to lowlands and raising the snowline in the mountains. From France to the Balkans, models predict a significant snow deficit, especially early in the season. Localized snow events may occur, but widespread, season-defining storms are unlikely. The exception is Scandinavia and northern Russia, where near or above normal snowfall is expected. Here, cold air and storm tracks will bring a classic winter, in stark contrast to the subdued season elsewhere. This winter, Europe will be divided. A snowy north and a patient, quieter south. Far away in the Pacific, La Niña is shaping global weather, but its influence on Europe is faint. In North America, La Niña brings predictable cold and snow to the north, warmth to the south. For Europe, the connection is weak. Other local factors dominate. Even with a strong La Niña, Europe's winter is shaped by a complex interplay of patterns. This year, La Niña's impact is overshadowed by Atlantic winds and regional drivers. While North America braces for a classic La Niña winter, Europe's forecast remains mild and dry. La Niña is just one player in Europe's vast atmospheric orchestra. This season, its tune is barely heard. High above, the polar vortex spins, trapping Arctic cold at the pole. When disrupted by a sudden stratospheric warming, SSW, frigid air can spill south, changing winter's course. And SSW can weaken or split the vortex, sometimes unleashing cold spells and snow across Europe. The effects take weeks to reach the surface, often shifting the jet stream and opening the door for Arctic air. For 2025-2026, a developing SSW is a key wildcard. While the overall forecast is mild, this stratospheric twist could bring colder, snowier periods later in winter. Still, an SSW is no guarantee. Its impact varies widely. It's a possibility, not a promise, a potential plot twist in winter's story. The continent waits to see if this atmospheric ballet will change the season's script. December arrives with a sense of anticipation, but for snow lovers across much of Europe, the month begins on a mild and somewhat disappointing note. High snow lines dominate the European mountains, and the classic winter wonderland scenes are noticeably absent. Instead of a blanket of white, many regions are left with only a dusting, if any at all. In the Alps, ski resorts that usually bustle with early season activity find themselves facing green slopes and grassy hillsides. The lack of snow not only dampens the holiday spirit but also impacts local economies that rely on winter tourism. Only Scandinavia and the far north manage to hold on to a typical winter start, with snow-covered villages and frosty forests painting a more familiar seasonal picture. Here, the cold settles in early, and the landscape transforms into a serene, icy paradise. As January unfolds, little changes for most of Europe. The snow deficit continues, and below normal snowfall persists across the continent. The mountains remain barren, and winter sports enthusiasts are left waiting for the season to truly begin. However, there is a glimmer of hope in southeastern Europe, where some regions may see a modest improvement. Occasional snowfalls bring brief moments of winter magic to the Balkans, Greece, and Bulgaria, offering a taste of what the season can bring. For many across the continent, patience is required. The core of winter's cold remains elusive, and communities accustomed to deep snow must adjust to a milder, quieter season. Empty ski resorts and bare trees serve as reminders of the winter that could have been. February, however, brings a renewed sense of hope. If a sudden stratospheric warming event, or SSW, materializes, it could disrupt the mild pattern and open the door to more wintry weather. Brief but intense cold snaps may sweep across the continent, bringing snow to lower elevations and transforming cities and villages overnight. These events, though short-lived, can create dramatic winter scenes and offer a welcome change for those longing for snow. The persistent snow deficit may finally begin to ease, as fresh snow covers the ground and the countryside takes on a more wintry appearance. Still, widespread and lasting cold remains unlikely. Many areas will see only fleeting glimpses of true winter, with patches of snow that quickly melt away. As March approaches, uncertainty grows. Some weather models hint at the possibility of late-season snowstorms, which could bring a final burst of winter to parts of Europe. Central Europe and the Alps in particular may see fresh snow, with picturesque scenes unfolding in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. Yet other forecasts suggest an early arrival of spring, with melting snow and blooming flowers signaling the end of winter's grip. The season may have started on a disappointing note, with brown hillsides and empty slopes, but winter still holds the potential for a few surprises. A sudden snowstorm or unexpected cold snap could arrive just before spring takes hold, catching many off guard. This winter truly feels like a two-act play. A mild, almost spring-like beginning, followed by the chance for a dramatic, colder finale. The final act could bring a sudden shift, with late-season snow and cold snaps transforming the landscape and leaving a lasting impression. Month by month, the story of this European winter unfolds, full of twists, turns, and surprises, keeping everyone guessing until the very end. Europe's winter is a patchwork of contrast, a season where the continent's diverse geography and shifting weather patterns create a dramatic tapestry of snow, rain, and everything in between. From the sun-drenched Mediterranean coastlines to the icy forests of the far north, no two regions experience winter in quite the same way. Mainland Europe, including the iconic Alps and rugged Pyrenees, faces a challenging season with below-normal snowfall, especially during the early months. Resorts that usually bustle with skiers may find themselves waiting for the first real snow, as mild air lingers and precipitation falls as rain instead of snow at lower elevations. Lower altitude ski resorts may struggle to open all their runs, relying on artificial snow or waiting for a cold snap, while high-altitude glaciers and peaks stand out as rare havens for deep, natural snow. The difference between valleys and mountaintops is more pronounced than ever. For many, the best chance for a true winter wonderland comes late in the season, when the possibility of cold outbreaks and spring snowstorms could finally transform the landscape. Patience may be rewarded with a dramatic, if brief, return to classic winter scenes. In stark contrast, Scandinavia and northern Russia are set for a classic snowy winter. Here, the season arrives early and stays long, blanketing forests, villages and cities in deep, persistent snow. Storms and surges of Arctic air will bring abundant snow to the north, creating ideal conditions for winter sports and painting the landscape in white. The cold is relentless, and snow piles up week after week. The British Isles remain as unpredictable as ever, initially mild and wet, with green fields and muddy paths, but a developing sudden stratospheric warming could flip the script, bringing brief but intense cold snaps and rare, memorable snowfalls to cities like London and Edinburgh. This winter is defined by regional extremes, a mild, anxious south where snow is scarce and temperatures run high, and a deep, snowy north where winter's grip is unyielding. The contrast is striking, and the experience of winter depends entirely on where you are. Skiers in the Alps may wait and hope for a late-season dump, while residents of Stockholm and Helsinki brace for another round of deep snow and icy winds. The divide between north and south is more pronounced than ever. Europe's winter story is one of haves and have-nots, shaped by geography, shifting climate patterns, and the unpredictable dance of weather systems. Whether you're longing for snow or hoping to avoid it, this season promises surprises at every turn. Compare Europe's mild forecast to North America's classic La Niña winter. In the US and Canada, La Niña drives cold, snowy conditions in the north, warmth in the south. Early snows have already blanketed much of the northern US and Canada. The contrast is stark. North America's winter is predictable, Europe's is complex and uncertain. La Niña is the star in North America, but a minor player in Europe. Europe's winter is shaped by a delicate balance of competing influences. While North Americans brace for a classic winter, Europeans must watch a more nuanced drama unfold. Beyond La Niña and the polar vortex, a host of other powerful forces are at work, weaving even more complexity into Europe's winter weather story. The interplay between ocean temperatures, atmospheric winds, and shifting weather patterns creates a dynamic environment where no two winters are ever quite the same. This year, both the North Atlantic and the Mediterranean Sea are running warmer than usual. These elevated sea surface temperatures act like giant energy reservoirs, releasing extra heat and moisture into the atmosphere. As a result, storms that form over or near these waters are supercharged, carrying more moisture than they typically would. This can lead to heavier precipitation events and sometimes more intense storms sweeping across the continent. When cold Arctic air masses collide with this moisture-laden air, the outcome can be dramatic. In some cases, it means heavy snowfall blanketing the mountains and even lowland areas. But more often, especially with warmer air in the mix, precipitation falls as rain, even at elevations where snow would normally be expected. This shift from snow to rain can have significant impacts on local communities, ski resorts, and river systems. Another key player is the quasi-biennial oscillation, or QBO. Currently, the QBO is in its easterly phase, which tends to weaken the polar vortex and increases the likelihood of sudden stratospheric warming events. These disruptions can send cold air plunging southward, shaking up the usual winter patterns, and sometimes triggering extreme cold snaps or snowstorms. While none of these factors alone can guarantee a snowy winter, together, they create a recipe for volatility. The atmosphere becomes more unpredictable, with the potential for dramatic swings between mild, rainy spells and sudden bursts of wintry weather. Warm seas continue to load the dice for heavier precipitation, while the QBO primes the upper atmosphere for sudden disruptions. Meteorologists keep a close eye on these signals, knowing that the right combination could tip the balance toward a memorable winter event. The result is often a mild start to winter, with rain and above-average temperatures. But beneath the surface, the stage is set for a possible wintry twist. If all the right ingredients align, snow and cold can return with little warning. In many ways, Europe's winter is a game of chance, with wild cards like ocean warmth and stratospheric winds waiting to be played. Each season brings its own surprises, and the outcome is never certain. So while the forecast may lean mild, the possibility of sudden, unexpected winter weather always lingers, reminding us that nature loves to keep us guessing. The final verdict for Europe's winter: no epic, continent-spanning snowstorms. Most of Europe will see a milder, drier season, with snow largely confined to the far north and highest mountains. The first half of winter will be especially mild, challenging for those who depend on snow. La Niña's power is muted in Europe, overridden by local patterns. Yet the developing SSW and QBO offer a chance for brief, intense cold and snow later in the season. These will be isolated events, not a sustained shift. This winter is one of patience, a gentle season with fleeting wintry moments, especially late. The deep, legendary cold remains locked in the Arctic, waiting for another year to make its entrance.